Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I'm very proud to support the FISA Reform and Reauthorization Act of 2023. For the better part of a year, the House Intelligence Committee has worked diligently and collaboratively on an unprecedented basis on this bill, starting from the premise that it is essential that we reauthorize Section 702 of FISA, but that we cannot and will not do so without significant reforms. I cannot stress enough the background work that went into this product over the last year. Frankly, I've never seen anything quite like it in my 15 years in Congress. Hearing after hearing, hundreds if not thousands of meetings and get-togethers with every element of the government that uses or touches or is interested in 702 authorities, meetings with FISA judges, privacy advocates, and then constant bicameral, bipartisan negotiation. I think I spent more time over the course of the 2 weeks with this chairman and with Chairman Warner over in the Senate than I've spent with family members. So this is really a product of an immense amount of work around a very, very technical subject. The bill is the product of those many efforts, and it includes reforms that are tough as well as targeted, aimed at ensuring that we can continue to use this foreign intelligence tool to keep Americans safe, but that we can also have confidence that it is being used in a way that is consistent with our values. I want to walk through a few specific provisions that are in the bill, but first a word about the process. We have examined the value that the authority provides every day to the intelligence community, a value that is best exemplified by the fact that our most exquisite intelligence product, the President Daily Brief, often contains an average of roughly 60% of items that are derived from FISA 702. We have countless examples, some declassified, but many more still highly classified, that demonstrate why Section 702 is indispensable and how it very literally saves American lives. That's why the President's Intelligence Advisory Board stated in their report on Section 702 earlier this year that the failure to reauthorize Section 702 would be judged as, quote, one of the worst intelligence failures of our time. Our oversight demonstrated the value of Section 702, but it also found that there have been genuine problems in how Section 702 has been used, which the Chairman referred to. There is plenty of room for important reforms. The problems are primarily within the FBI, where the Bureau for many years demonstrated an unacceptable record on compliance with the standards for querying U.S. persons, a record that is well documented in audits performed by the DOJ, as well as declassified opinions from the FISC. The administration has put in place a series of policies that are beginning to drive change at the Bureau and reduces these abuses, and those policies will be codified and built upon in this bill. To highlight a few provisions among the many that are in this bill, we would institute a flat prohibition on queries conducted by the FBI to uncover, quote, evidence of a crime. This is important for two reasons. First, it removes any doubt that Section 702 is a foreign intelligence authority, not a law enforcement tool. That is what Congress intended when it was first enacted, and this makes that distinction crystal clear. Second, it will help remove confusion on the part of FBI agents about what constitutes a permissible query and drive improvements in compliance. This bill would also reduce by 90% the number of individuals at the FBI who can approve a U.S. person query, meaning that only 550 supervisors and attorneys at the agency could approve a query of a U.S. person against the 702 database. As with many other changes, this is intended to reduce compliance failures and to ensure that every time the FBI queries the FISA 702 data, it does so for a permissible and lawful purpose. This bill would, for the first time, put in law a prohibition against queries of Section 702 data whose purpose is either to suppress free expression or to disadvantage a person on the basis of religion, ethnicity, race, gender, or any other arbitrary characteristic. And finally, this bill includes important reforms to the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court itself, most notably by requiring that the FISC appoint an amicus each time the government seeks to renew its annual certification under Section 702. This will make sure that the FISC process will be adversarial and the arguments made by the government will receive strictest scrutiny. Finally, as I said before, this bill is the product of extensive bicameral and bipartisan negotiation and compromise. As such, it's not the perfect bill for anybody sitting up here, but this is how one legislates in a wide and diverse body. Each and every one of us would make individual changes, and because we don't purport to have the perfect bill, merely the best bill, this bill, too, like previous FISA authorizations, will sunset, giving a future Congress another opportunity to consider the value of the program and reforms. As this process proceeds, all of us on this committee stand ready to work with our colleagues in the House and Senate to reauthorize Section 702 and to do so with the smart and tough reforms that are so clearly needed. Once again, thank you to the staff who put in hundreds, if not thousands, of hours on this product, and thank you to Chairman Turner and all the members of this committee for their contributions to this effort and our national security. I urge support for the legislation and yield back.